Ah! Oh. Oh, it's just a dream. Who is that Jack guy? It doesn't matter, he's not real.
Hey!
Ah! And that was the last Storytime animation video I've ever created. Not including the Halloween series, which continued later on. Yes, in a few other videos I put a few miniature stories here and there, but the general trend has been mainly educational. Now why do I bring this up? Well, since June 2023, one of my friends, Fry, as he wishes to be labeled, has been asking me to tell the stool incident, which I'll get into, since it occurred. I had to keep explaining to him by that point. I had already switched my content style to the educational themes, and that I was generally done with stories. Well, it's been nearly 2 years since this, and he has not stopped asking. So I just said, God damn it, here's your video, please shut up now. Also, besides being held at gunpoint, I'm only allowing this video to be made as I was personally there as when the stupidity was unfolding. And without further ado, let's ring in the golden era of Vlogmations by telling a story. So the story isn't really that long, it's just a short story that took place in grade 9. It was the final Wednesday of the school year, and it was the second period right before lunch, and it was woodwork. I'll be honest, I forgot exactly what I was doing during this block, but I do know one thing. I was done all my work. Fry, on the other hand, I don't think so. He was really bored. Meanwhile, one of our not-so-friends anymore, but still one of our classmates, who I'll just give the fake name of Bean, was at one of those foosball tables that were in our wood shop. Basically, those miniature soccer table things. According to him, Fry was trying to get Bean's attention. What for? No idea. But his method of doing so was taking these wooden block sanders from the table and hucking them at Bean. The other reason as to why he did this was because, well, he was just generally annoyed at Bean for personal reasons, and so he kept making a couple more throws. Which, you know what? Maybe doing that unprompted wasn't the best idea, as Bean turned around and told him, Fry, do that one more time, I dare you. Thinking it was an empty threat, Fry throws another block of wood at Bean. Turns out, it wasn't an empty threat, because Bean decided to charge towards our table, grab one of those wooden stools, and throw it at Fry's head. Also, might I add, these block sanders weren't even that dense, they were fairly lightweight. If you put some force into that throw, the worst you can do would be like a little mark on the body. The stool, however, wasn't lightweight. It could do some damage, and the damage it caused was surprisingly minimal. That being said, you can't just do that. Although I have my opinions on Bean, I think from that objective standpoint, you shouldn't throw a stool, or any object for that matter, out of anger in general, and definitely not in a classroom setting, and especially not in a woodshop setting. But moving on, Bro threw the stool, punched Fry in the face, and told him, get out of the classroom. As this was happening, our woodwork teacher, who we'll just call Mr. Chad, came bolting out of his office to separate the two. From this point onward, I wasn't there personally. This is all from Fry's perspective. I was still at our table just watching this, but unable to really listen in. So consider me a second-hand source. Mr. Chad left Fry in his office to go and talk with Bean first on his side of the story. Apparently, Bean claimed that Fry called him things like fat and did the name-calling. Fry obviously denied these accusations and claimed that Bean had been the one saying all that stupid stuff about him and me. Chad and Fry continued to chat, but then were soon transferred over to the school's official office. He went into our vice principal's room. Fry was getting bored, and since he still had his phone on him, he went on it. However, our vice principal, Miss Uranus, saw his phone and took it away and then placed it in a cabinet box. The lunch bell rang and both Bean and Fry were placed together in a new room. Miss Uranus once again asked Fry about the Bean name-calling. He denies it again. She then goes on a rant about something. Fry didn't give me the most detailed story to work off of. And when she was done her, quote, yapping session, unquote, she said to Fry, you would be suspended right now, but since you're a good kid, we'll let you off with a warning. And stated how, since Fry rarely went to the school's office, he would be fine. Hey, that sounds pretty familiar, doesn't it? He then acknowledged what he was being told, and then was pretty much forced to give an apology to Bean, and then later left the area. However, Miss Uranus did pull him aside and said that if he did another bad thing before the end of the school year, which mind you was literally one day after, that he would not be attending the grade 9 barbecue. However, in the fall during the start of high school in grade 10, he was never placed into a woodworking course, even though he selected it for one of his electives. And he says that he's pretty sure that the middle school got in contact with the high school and then told them not to allow him in a woodworking class. But whether or not this is true, it's still speculation. But what is true is that he never got that class, and neither did he get it in grade 11, and we're both unsure whether or not Bean got rejected from woodworking, but I mean, if Fry got kicked out for that reason, Bean should have also been equally kicked out. But that's just my opinion. So did this story have a happy ending? Not really. But yeah, that's been the time that my friend fought in woodwork class, and it's been fun adding all these little references to older videos, so Thanks for watching, and go to crack or something. I don't know.
Can't feel like it on me. Real talk or an fantasy. Yeah, I got some new feelings, they make you uncomfortable.